Hey, what's up everyone? It's your host, the one and only. I'm back, and it is that time again. It's almost giveaway time, baby. We're approaching 25,000 subscribers, and I could not be any more thankful to you all. Stick around until the end of the video so you can learn how you can have a chance at winning some huge prizes. But for today's video, we're going to take a look at a highly underrated accessory that honestly, many Mac users don't even know about. I'm talking about the Magic Trackpad 2. Now the reason they call it this is because it has a neat feature where it changes colors. See, you just dig into your Mac settings and watch this. Just like that, it goes from white to black to gray. Pretty cool, right? Well, not really, because I'm totally kidding and those are just my horrendous editing skills, and if you fell for it, you should be ashamed. The real reason it's called the Magic Trackpad is because, like magic, this accessory empties out your bank account and will max out your credit card. This, however, is actually one of those accessories that I think are worth every penny, so let's not waste any more time and get straight into the unboxing. You already know how we do it on this channel. Let's go ahead and dive in. This is your typical Apple unboxing. We have our iconic white box with an image of the Magic Trackpad front and center. This one here just happens to be the space gray one, but is also found in silver and white at the Apple Store. On the top and bottom we have nothing. On the left and right, we have black Apple logos, and on the back side, you don't get much either other than a barcode and serial number information along with the system requirements in order for your trackpad to work. So now, just get your trusty meat cutter to assist in this unboxing, peel off the plastic and slide out the inner portion of the box out to reveal your gorgeous trackpad wrapped in this frosted plastic. There is a tab, so let's pull that and set it off to the side for now. Inside, we have our product and warranty information guide, as well as a quick start guide to get us up and running. Additionally, inside we do also have this awesome black lightning to USB cable, but what we really came for was the trackpad. So now just peel off that frosted plastic to get that ever so satisfying sound the plastic makes, and there it is, fingerprint free and likely the cleanest it will ever be. So now going over a quick tour of the trackpad, it's actually quite simple. We see our gorgeous glass trackpad here, which feels silky smooth. For reference, for those that have the iPhone 11 Pro, it feels the exact same as that frosted glass feeling, so that your fingers just kind of glide over the surface. It is in this wedge shape, which helps to get that perfect angle so that it just feels completely natural. On the sides, there's nothing but your cold aluminum, but towards the front side is where we see much more of the action. To the right is a color-matched plastic window to allow for the Bluetooth signal to pass through and connect to your Mac. In the middle is your color-matched lightning port used to sync and charge up your device. And lastly, all the way to the left is your power button with this bright green indicator that lets you know whether it is in the off or on position. On the bottom, we'll see our embossed Apple logo, along with 4 rubber feet in every corner to help stabilize your trackpad while in use, and towards the bottom we have some regulatory information. For some reason, there aren't that many written or video reviews on this thing. It's weird because this entirely changes the way you interact with your desktop. I mean, we all know what a mouse for a computer is, we've been dealing with those all our lives, but give this trackpad to a boomer and I guarantee 80% of them will scratch their heads and look at you like a deer in headlights. That's because the trackpad changes the Mac game. Obviously, Apple was not the first to invent the trackpad. We have seen trackpads in a variety of laptops since they were basically brought to market, but the Magic Trackpad 2 has a nice feature we'll discuss later that senses depth and has a plethora of gestures that help navigate through macOS in a very natural and intuitive way. So diverting our attention to design, can we just take a moment to appreciate the exquisite design of this trackpad? Like, it's so simple yet elegant at the same time. The Magic Trackpad comes in technically 3 different colors, but sold at the Apple Store individually in only 2. That's because this black on silver combination is exclusive only to the new 2019 Cheese Grater Mac Pro, as of the recording of this video. It cannot be purchased separately. I remember when this was the case for the Space Gray Magic accessories that were exclusive to the iMac Pro when that was released, and you would not believe the insane markups on eBay. I saw one auction at $800 with 20 hours left about 2 years ago, back when the Space Gray trackpad was exclusive. So I don't know, man, might have to hit up eBay real soon. Anyway, the silver and white trackpad for some reason is cheaper, and I use the term cheaper very loosely here, since it comes in at $129, while the Space Gray comes in at $149. Why is the space gray more expensive? I have absolutely no clue. You already know space gray is Apple's preferred color of choice for, quote, professionals. So maybe that's the dumb reasoning behind it, or it might just have to do with how they treat the metal. I don't know, it's really dumb, and both colors should be the same price in my opinion. But going back to the design, the trackpad encompasses a very large surface area, 6.3 inches by 4.52 inches, and feels very reminiscent of the MacBook's trackpads. If you've ever used any of those trackpads on your beloved MacBook, then getting used to this will be very easy going. It's basically the same thing, just much taller and wider. You'll also notice it incorporates this wedge shape, just like the Magic Keyboard, so its excellent hand ergonomics makes the mobility of the hand on the trackpad feel very natural and fluid. Occasionally, after very heavy periods of use, your hand will start to cramp up, but just get out, my guy. No need to be sitting still at your desk for 3 hours at a time. Come on now, let's get with it and go get some sunshine. As mentioned earlier, on the front of the device, you have this small plastic trim piece, which is a Bluetooth transparency window so that it can function wirelessly. Attention to detail has been paid here, as the plastic trim piece is color matched to whatever color you decided to pick up. In the middle is your color matched lightning port, and on the opposite end is a switch to turn the trackpad on or off. There's no light indicator letting you know it's on, but you get that very bright sticker or whatever it is. The setup process is extremely simple. You get set up in one of two ways. It is supposed to connect automatically, but a lot of the time that doesn't work, and it seems the easiest and most straightforward way is to plug in the trackpad directly to your Mac with the provided lightning to USB cable, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll. You'll get a tiny confirmation screen letting you know your trackpad has successfully been paired, and you can disconnect the cable since the trackpad works wirelessly over Bluetooth. Most of my trackpads have came with about 80 to 90% battery and last me almost a whole month to 2 whole months depending on how heavily I'm using it. If you're in a pinch and need to recharge, a quick 5-minute charge should yield about 40 minutes of use. My suggestion is to leave your trackpad charging overnight at least once a month to avoid any interruption with your workflow. So you might be asking, why is this called the Magic Trackpad 2? Well, that's because this replaces the original trackpad, which was all silver, used a set of AA batteries, and had a smaller surface area. In fact, the new Magic Trackpad 2 features 29% more surface area and is just cleaner in design. Which, speaking of, everything about this product's design was kept in mind to make your experience fulfilling and very enjoyable. There are 4 force sensors underneath the trackpad's large glass surface that allows you to click anywhere, and that click has the same clickiness no matter where you click from. Whether you click from the edge or more towards the middle, the responsiveness is always the same. Apple stepped it up even further, as this trackpad brings increased functionality, all by delivering a more pressure-sensitive touch. You remember 3D Touch on old iPhones? The feature that I missed so much and is now gone? Rest in peace, man. I loved 3D Touch. Moment of silence real quick for 3D Touch. Alright, moving on. So yeah, it's really similar to that. For example, when using Safari, if you're reading an article and don't know the meaning of a word, you can force touch, meaning you press harder and you will get this tactile response with what seems like a secondary click, and it will bring up a definition of the word. Or what if you received a funky looking link through email? Force click on the link to quickly open up a small preview of the link to determine if you want to open it up completely or resume with whatever you were already doing. It works phenomenally well and makes you feel like you and your computer are one sentient being working in tandem with each other. Am I exaggerating? No, it feels that smooth. Just trust me on this one. The rubber feet on the bottom of the trackpad does an excellent job of stabilizing the trackpad so it doesn't inch further and further away from you, the same way that one girl you tried to talk to at the club did. It's great to have that assurance since, after all, the trackpad's main surface is made of glass. Dropping this on a hardwood floor would typically result in catastrophe, so it's nice to have that peace of mind. Something else I noticed is that the trackpad has a springy kind of feel to it with every click. It's more apparent when you click towards the very edge, kinda sorta like a sponge would spring back after pressing down on it. This makes it so that the trackpad doesn't feel hard and stiff, and instead creates a really solid feel that is very responsive. Each click feels great, but what is really interesting is that the glass trackpad is never actually moving. There are sensors underneath the glass surface that creates the illusion of a true mechanical click. You can test this out yourself by turning your trackpad off and trying to press. You'll come to realize that, once off, it doesn't click. The force touch technology feels so real and regularly fools me into making me think this thing is actually moving. The technology in here is similar to the home buttons on certain iPhone models like the iPhone 7 or iPhone 8. It uses the combination of the Taptic engine and those 4 sensors to create a very realistic click. It's pretty gnarly if you ask me. I think though, what sets this miles apart from the Magic Mouse 2 is all of the gestures you can use with macOS. Gestures, in a nutshell, are simple movements of your hand or fingers to help navigate the operating system much more easily and fluidly, almost like certain shortcuts to get from one screen to the next on the fly. And there are a good dozen or two of these gestures that prove real useful, especially for professionals wanting to expedite their workflow and optimize productivity. There's a ton, but some of the more common ones are using 2 fingers to scroll up and down a page. Instead of clicking, you can tap with 1 finger to mimic a click. You have your pinch to zoom, use 4 fingers to swipe left or right between full screen apps. I use that one a lot when video editing and creating thumbnails simultaneously on my Mac. There's just so many that allow you to really make your Mac experience your own. Best yet, you can adjust your different gestures in settings and adjust how firm you want your clicks to be. You can make them very firm, medium, or have a very light click. The light click is too sensitive, almost as sensitive as my girlfriend is sometimes, so I normally go for the medium setting, but everyone will have their own preference. You can also adjust the tracking speed of the cursor, whether you want it to be slow as molasses or simply on the Usain Bolt setting, or anything in between. The choice is yours. Lastly, I'll even admit, I thought this specific accessory was only for the Mac desktops, but boy was I wrong. So apparently, as long as your system is Bluetooth 4.0 enabled with OS 10 version 10.11 or later, then you're golden to use this accessory. That means that MacBooks are compatible as well. I'll throw a list of all the compatible Macs on the screen right now that are compatible, including the new 2019 MacBook Airs, the 12-inch MacBook if you're still rocking those, and most of the MacBook Pros, whether they're 13-inch, 15-inch, or 16-inch models from 2012 or later. I feel the trackpad for a MacBook is for a very niche audience though, since the MacBooks already basically have a trackpad, albeit slightly smaller. I think a better sell is the Magic Mouse 2 for MacBooks. That way you get the traditional desktop experience, but hey, it all comes down to preference. Be on the lookout for my Magic Mouse 2 review as well as my Magic Keyboard with numeric pad review. Only way to not miss it is to subscribe to my channel with bell notifications, not only for my future videos, but for exciting giveaways with huge prizes. So that's it. For an entry price of $129 for the white trackpad or $149 for the space gray, do I think it's worth it? 100%. It will drastically change the way you interact with your Mac, especially if you use pro apps like Lightroom Classic or Final Cut Pro. When you buy a Mac desktop, you have the option to upgrade to a trackpad at purchase or order with both a mouse and trackpad. But for my needs, if I had to choose one over the other, the trackpad wins in my book hands down. It's just vastly superior in every single way. Great responsiveness, great gestures, huge surface area, and tremendous battery life, not to mention a more simplified way to charge it. What's not to like here? Truth be told, I have no real complaints about this thing. It's near perfect in my eyes and sure could be a little cheaper, but it's Apple we're talking about after all. But take it from me, you'll enjoy this accessory so much and will be worth every penny. So I want to thank you guys for watching until the end. I have some exciting news. I'll be announcing my next giveaway very soon in the next upcoming weekend or two. The grand prize is a surprise for now, but just know it's gonna be big. The only way to not miss out on this action is to subscribe with bells and to also follow me on social media. I'll throw my @handles on the screen right now. Like I said, I plan to announce my giveaway in the coming weeks via a live stream, so you'll definitely not want to miss out on that. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you found it helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. And if you think it sucked, well, you know what you can do. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys real soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace!